Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title down below, in this video I'm going to be making another slow cooker recipe. It's going to be a beef and red wine stew or casserole. I don't know, I just know these things as stews, but some people call them casseroles, whichever way. But yeah, it's just going to be like a tomato based, red wine based, saucy kind of mixed gravy saucy kind of thing with very tender slow cooked pull apart beef and some vegetables. For me personally, I'm going to serve it with mashed potato. You don't need to serve it with anything, you can have it as is. You can serve it with mashed like I'm going to do, you can do it with rice. I was going to buy a couple of bread rolls as well, like the crusty bread rolls to slice up and put butter on and dip that into the juices as well. But I didn't. I just decided I'll just do mash. But that's another thing you can do as well. I'm so excited for this. This recipe as well, you don't need a slow cooker for. You can do it on the stove. Just do it as like a low. And just mix it. Keep your eye on it. Mix it every 30 minutes to an hour, whatever, to make sure it doesn't burn, or depending on what pot you do use. But yeah, for me, I'm just going to do my slow cooker. It's just easier. I'm going to put it in for about 4.5 hours. 4.5 to 5 hours on low. And yeah, I'm excited. So let's share the ingredients and we'll just legit just chop the stuff up and put it all in the pot. So we'll go do that now. Alright, so that is just an overview of all of our ingredients we'll be needing. So starting off here, I got a 700 gram jar of passata. I'm going to be using roughly about half of it. I'm just going to eyeball my measurements like I normally do. And over to the side here, I got some tomato paste. Here I got bay leaves, I'll use one, maybe two. Some vegetable stock, you can use chicken or beef flavour stock if you prefer. I just prefer to use vegetable, it's just versatile with any dish no matter what meat I use. It's just easier to keep that one in my cupboard. And dried herbs, so I'm going to add in rosemary and oregano. I'm going to use 4 cloves of garlic, 1 very large onion, tomato paste, I don't know if I mentioned that as well. It's a 2-pack, I'm just going to use 1. I'm going to use 3 medium-sized carrots, frozen peas as well. And if you want to use like frozen corn or canned corn, you definitely can. Sorry about the noise as well. My neighbours are moving out and gardening, and there's a lot of people and a lot of commotion next door. Anyway, the beef, I just use the chuck slow cooker beef. Obviously if you fry this up with a steak, it's not going to be very nice, but because it cooks nice and slow, it will get super tender and it'll be delicious. Plus it's also cheap. And then the star of the whole meal is this bottle of wine. I'm not wine savvy at all. This is a Merlot. The brand is Bird in Hand. I had a rosé that's Bird in Hand. It's absolutely beautiful. But with the more red wine stuff, it's not for me. So cooking wise, yes, I will be weak with the wine though. If you want more of that wine flavour, definitely add more in. But for Nick and I, we just like the little subtle hint of wine. And also to the side here, I've got some potatoes which I'll mash up later, and I'll just add milk and butter and maybe sour cream. I've got sour cream in the fridge, I have to check the date, it could be off. But yeah, that's just mashed potato. I won't really touch on that. But yeah, so now we will chop up the veggies and, well, it's not veggies, onion, carrot and garlic and the beef, and we'll chop it all in. So now the vegetables and the beef are now in the pot, I'm just going to add in everything else. So I will first start with the liquid. So with the passata, I'm just going to give it a bit of a shake and just, I will roughly half of the jar. So like that. Frozen peas, I'm just going to use the rest of what I have in the bag here. It's only about 1/4 of a cup. And also with the beef, it was just under 500 grams. I just thought I will mention that. Tomato paste, like I said, I'll use one of these tubs. These tubs are 140 grams each. Oh my goodness. And then the wine, like I said, I do not like strong wine flavour at all. So I'm going to do about 1/4 of a cup. But if you like more of that flavour, definitely add more. Personal preference when it comes to the wine. So that's pretty much all of the liquid. Now with just seasoning. Dried up rosemary leaf. Oh. I'm going to add about a teaspoon. That smells so good. I love, love, love rosemary. And oregano leaves, dried. You can use fresh if you want, but dried's perfectly fine. About a teaspoon as well. That's good. I'm going to chuck a bay leaf, quite a large one in here. And some vegetable stock. So I like to use a heaped teaspoon. And I'm just going to add roughly about a cup of water. Maybe a bit more than a cup and a half. And that should be plenty. Alright, so give this one big mix. Oh, there's actually something I did forget. Salt and pepper. I'll do that in just a moment. But yeah, I'm just mixing to make sure that there's enough liquid in here. And just mix the tomato paste into the liquid so it's all one consistency. So just a little bit of salt. You can always add more at the end. And I just love pepper. And also with my passata and the tomato paste I use, that is both no added salt. If that was just the regular kind and had salt, I probably wouldn't add salt right now. Because once you've added it, it's very hard to take away. And with the tomato, obviously, it can be quite tart, but because I'm going to be cooking it slow and low for quite a while, like 4.5, 5 hours, don't need to add any sugar because it will naturally just become sweet as well. On low, what's the time? So exactly 12:30 now, and like I said, about 4.5 to 5 hours. And I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to lift the lid up or mix it or anything. If you are doing this on stove, definitely mix it every so often. Slow cooker, I don't need to. So we'll come back when I serve. Alright, so I got my dinner all in the bowl. It smells so good. I have been like every 10-15 minutes I've been saying to Nick like, I want dinner now. It's been smelling so good. So as you saw, I served it with mashed potato. So I mixed a little bit of the juices. I'm just going to do a little taste test. Actually halfway through I did taste it and I added in about maybe 2-3 tablespoons extra of the wine, and I haven't tasted it since. Love mashed potato. Alright. Try some of the beef. Hopefully it's nice and tender. It should be. It's been cooking for, yeah, about 5 hours on low. Yum. Definitely tender. And that flavour is really good. I honestly could have maybe add in a couple more tablespoons of the wine. Like, it's there. I don't know if I'm just getting used to wine flavours or not, but yeah, I don't know. But oh, so good. And the rosemary, oh, I love rosemary. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!